FIFA has never liked Ronaldo, from early award snubs to public mockery by FIFA's president.
Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Lionel Messi is the good boy, and the other one, this is something else. He's like a commander on the field of play.
From deleted congratulatory posts to suspicious award snubs, the pattern isn't just real, it's undeniable. While others were celebrated like royalty, Cristiano Ronaldo was merely tolerated. And when he stopped playing the polite game, when he refused to be just another PR puppet, he became a problem. This goes way beyond missed Ballon d'Ors or awkward speeches. This is about power, control, and the legacy of the one man FIFA could never tame. Because for all the trophies, memes, and GOAT debates, this story began with a hungry teenager from Madeira. Cristiano Ronaldo had lightning in his boots, charisma in his stride, and a drive so fierce it bordered on obsession. He wasn't just a footballer, he was a phenomenon. But from the very start, FIFA never truly embraced him. In 2003, Ronaldo was snubbed for the Golden Boy Award, losing to Rafael van der Vaart. Fair enough. In 2004, it went to Wayne Rooney, also acceptable. But then came 2005, and the silence grew louder. Cristiano was dominating for Manchester United, with 9 goals and 9 assists, lighting up the FA Cup and carrying Portugal in World Cup qualifiers. Meanwhile, the award went to Lionel Messi, who had only played 9 senior matches and failed to register in major competitions. Messi had shined in the U20 World Cup, but Ronaldo wasn't a kid playing youth football. He was shattering expectations on the biggest stages. This wasn't about stats, it was about narrative, preference, comfort zone. And Ronaldo didn't fit. Still, he didn't complain, he kept going. In 2007, Ronaldo helped United reclaim the Premier League with 23 goals and 14 assists, smashing records for a winger in the Champions League. He completed 20 dribbles in a single match, a record that still stands. He was a spectacle, a storm, a superstar. And yet, when the FIFA World Player of the Year shortlist came out, Ronaldo wasn't even top 2. Then came the infamous 2007 ceremony. Sepp Blatter on stage, Kaká first, Messi second, Ronaldo third. But when Ronaldo stepped up, FIFA handed him the wrong trophy. A blunder, maybe. But for a player who already felt ignored, it felt like humiliation, scripted or not. He had to hand the trophy back and swap it out in front of the whole world. But in 2013, they couldn't deny him anymore. 69 goals. Carried Portugal to the World Cup with a one-man demolition job against Sweden. A season so legendary, even his critics ran out of excuses. But make no mistake, FIFA's cold shoulder didn't end there. And this wasn't just about football, it was about control over the sport's biggest image in Ronaldo. He refused to bow. That's the real reason FIFA never loved him. He was too powerful, too loud, too unapologetically himself. The world watched in awe as Cristiano Ronaldo single-handedly dragged Portugal to the World Cup in 2013, scoring a stunning hat-trick against Sweden in one of the most iconic international performances in football history. It wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. A reminder that when the pressure is highest, Ronaldo delivers. He didn't just win a game, he commanded the world's attention. And yet, something wasn't right. As the Ballon d'Or deadline approached, Ronaldo, despite his heroics, was trailing in the votes. His brilliance on the pitch wasn't enough. It took public outrage and reportedly internal debates within FIFA for the voting deadline to be mysteriously extended. Only then did the tides shift, and Ronaldo was announced the winner. He cried. But it wasn't just joy, it was relief, a feeling of having survived a system that never fully embraced him. Because every time Cristiano Ronaldo rose to greatness, it wasn't because the system lifted him, it was despite the system. And over time, one question started echoing louder in football circles, online forums, and press conferences. Why does FIFA never truly back Cristiano Ronaldo? Statistically, he rivaled and often surpassed everyone. In terms of global influence, he was unmatched. By legacy, he was carving himself into football immortality. But for FIFA, he was never quite the golden boy. Too outspoken, too self-made, too independent. And in a sport governed by an institution that thrives on control, Cristiano Ronaldo represented a problem, a global superstar they didn't manufacture, and more importantly, one they couldn't control. So they took another route. They sidelined him not with overt attacks, but with silence. No open smear campaign, no explicit snub, just a quiet retreat of support, and a subtle, consistent push to center someone else. It wasn't one moment that turned Ronaldo against FIFA, but if you had to find the spark, ignited in 2013. Fresh off his hat-trick against Sweden, Ronaldo was the name on everyone's lips. He was dominating Europe with Real Madrid, rewriting Champions League history, and carrying a nation on his shoulders. And then came a moment that revealed everything. FIFA President Sepp Blatter took the stage at Oxford Union. Instead of praising Ronaldo's greatness, he mocked him. One of them spends more time at the hairdresser, he said, comparing Ronaldo unfavorably to Lionel Messi with a chuckle. They called it a joke, but to Ronaldo it was a line drawn in public. It wasn't just personal, it was political. It was the president of football's highest body belittling him, while elevating his biggest rival. That was the breaking point. From then on, the smiles stopped. Ronaldo began skipping award ceremonies. He stopped posting thank yous when he did attend. It was all business, no charm, no pretense. He had realized something painful but clear. He could break every record, win every title, but in FIFA's house, he'd always be a guest, never the host, because Ronaldo wasn't compliant, he wasn't subtle, and most of all, he wasn't theirs. For an organization obsessed with control and image that made him a liability. So they found other ways to dim his spotlight, because there's more than one way to silence a legend. In Ronaldo's case, they didn't need red cards or press releases. They just needed silence. They didn't ban him. They just stopped calling his name. For years, Cristiano Ronaldo defined greatness. Ballon d'Or, FIFA Best Player year after year. His name was etched into history. 2008, 2013, 2014, 2016, 2017. He wasn't just keeping up with Lionel Messi, he was beating him. But then, something shifted. The rules changed. The voting became vague. The criteria rewritten every year. Suddenly it wasn't about performance anymore. It was about narrative, style points, team success, and impact. Everything except what happened on the pitch. In 2018, Luka Modric won the Ballon d'Or, a great player, a World Cup finalist. But Ronaldo, top scorer in the Champions League, carried Real Madrid through the knockouts. 44 goals in 44 matches, a hat-trick against Spain at the World Cup. And yet, not only was he snubbed, he was discredited. When he questioned the process, they called him bitter. When he skipped the gala, they called him ungrateful. But what do you call a system that rewards everyone except the most consistent winner of a generation? You don't have to ban a legend to bury him sometimes. All it takes is silence, or better yet, a pattern. Because when FIFA couldn't control Cristiano Ronaldo's voice, they tried to control everything around him. In 2019, Ronaldo was still the face of global football, fresh off another Champions League winning campaign. Still breaking records, still making headlines. It was everywhere: the cover of FIFA, the video game, the menus, the trailers, the brand, and then suddenly he was gone. No warning, no announcement, just replaced by Paulo Dybala, Neymar, Alex Morgan, a quiet rebranding in the middle of an existing contract. FIFA never explained why, but the world watching already knew, because months earlier, Ronaldo had been accused in a case he publicly denied. No trial, no charges, and yet he was erased as if guilty. They called it routine. They said it was about diversity, but to many, it didn't feel like inclusion. It felt like erasure, and it marked the start of something new. Punish the man through the machine, and it didn't stop there. In 2018, Mohamed Salah won the Puskas Award for a goal that didn't even win Goal of the Month. Meanwhile, Ronaldo's bicycle kick against Juventus, one of the greatest goals in Champions League history, wasn't even honored. Fans noticed. FIFA didn't blink. When Ronaldo showed frustration after a match, it was a scandal. Headlines, suspensions, investigations. When others did worse, warnings, closed-door talks. The media barely flinched. When Ronaldo spoke with confidence, they called it ego. When he celebrated passionately, they called it disrespect. Because when the president of FIFA mocks you on stage, it's not just a joke, it's a message, a reminder of who gets protected and who gets punished. Every organization needs a face, a symbol, a global ambassador, someone who not only wins but represents their values. FIFA chose Lionel Messi, quiet, humble, politically safe, a genius who never challenged the room, a legend whose brilliance never made waves for the wrong reasons. But Cristiano Ronaldo, he was never going to be that. Too outspoken, too muscular, too unapologetic. He didn't wait for FIFA to market him, he marketed himself. From Madeira to Manchester, from Madrid to the world, Ronaldo built an empire without leaning on the system. While Messi fit the mold, Ronaldo rewrote it. He wasn't just a footballer. He was a brand, a phenomenon the system couldn't create, and so they tried to erase him. Hotels, fragrance lines, fitness empires. Cristiano Ronaldo built it all without them, and that independence had scared them, because Ronaldo never waited for validation. He demanded numbers, stats, results, and when those came, FIFA hesitated. Why? Because Cristiano Ronaldo didn't belong to them. He wasn't built in their labs. He wasn't born from their marketing machine. He never softened his interviews. He never disguised his ambition. He didn't fit their PR script. In a game run by bureaucrats and branding consultants, Ronaldo wasn't a product. He was a problem, a force they couldn't control, a king they didn't crown. And when institutions can't mold you, they don't confront you. They exclude you silently, systematically, publicly, because silence leaves no fingerprints. There are many ways to disrespect a legend, but the quietest one is omission. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't beg for applause. He didn't need a standing ovation. What he asked for was fairness. Just the facts. 935 goals. Trophies in England, Spain, Italy, and Saudi Arabia. Champions League dominance. European Championship glory. 43 hat-tricks over 120 international goals, the most in football history. But somewhere along the way, FIFA stopped repeating them. No tribute posts, no highlight reels, no place in the top 3 shortlists. When he scored his 700th goal, FIFA said nothing. When he became the top international scorer of all time, no tweet, no press release, just silence. And that silence, it wasn't random, it was policy. Because when institutions can't erase your legacy, they try to make it disappear, not through bans or headlines, but through omission, through invisibility, through quiet erasure. In 2024, Ronaldo didn't vote, he didn't show up, he didn't post. The captain of Portugal absent from the biggest awards night in world football, and when asked why, FIFA gave no explanation, no accountability, just more silence. Because when the narrative doesn't fit, they don't fight it, they ignore it, and the fans noticed. Not because of drama, but because of data. Because no matter how hard FIFA tried to rewrite the story, Ronaldo's career wouldn't cooperate. Legacy is supposed to be sacred, earned, not gifted, built on numbers, not narratives. But in Ronaldo's case, the silence grew louder than the applause. He did everything a footballer dreams of. 5 Ballon d'Ors, Champions League records, scoring titles in every league he played in, a trophy cabinet that spans 4 nations in 3 decades, a global icon, a one-man empire. And yet instead of being enshrined, he was systematically sidelined. This wasn't a debate anymore, it was a decision. A decision to reward the soft-spoken, to elevate the pliable, to write greatness in lowercase. Because the capital letters, the thunderous headlines, belonged to someone FIFA never fully embraced. Ronaldo didn't ask for protection. He didn't ask for favoritism. He asked for the truth. But the more goals he scored, the less recognition he received. When Messi won, FIFA posted. When Ronaldo won, FIFA paused. Because Ronaldo didn't fit the mold. Too driven, too outspoken, too unwilling to play the part of the humble hero. It was global but not globalist. A brand they didn't build, and a legacy they didn't control. So they tried to make him forgettable. But here's what FIFA didn't calculate. You can silence the broadcasts, you can withhold the awards, you can skip the highlight reels, but you can't erase memory. Because to millions of fans across continents, Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy is not a debate, it's a fact. A story not written by press releases, but by proof. Greatness doesn't retire, it doesn't need permission, it echoes. Cristiano Ronaldo never asked to fight FIFA, he asked to be judged fairly. But what began as tension became from him, from them. For 20 years, he carried the game. He dragged teams to finals, he made football a global language, he gave the sport headlines, history and heroes, and in return, the governing body of the sport he helped globalize chose politics over merit, silence over celebration, image over integrity. This was never about Messi versus Ronaldo. The real conflict was something deeper, a silent war between legacy and control, between a man who built his own empire and the institution that never forgave him for not asking permission. They didn't need to mock him. They didn't need to delete tweets. They didn't need to rewrite the rules, but they did. And in doing so, they revealed more than their bias. They revealed their fear. Fear of someone who didn't need their validation. Fear of the man who became immortal without their blessing. Because while trophies fade, while institutions change hands, greatness doesn't disappear. It inspires. It multiplies. It outlives the politics. FIFA may control the stage, but Cristiano Ronaldo owns the timeline. And in the end, they didn't write him out of football history. They wrote themselves out of his